Welcome back to another YouTube video of FLAIR, where we make trading simple. Now, if you're new here too, please make sure to hit the subscribe button, guys. And if you're back here, welcome back, FLAIR me. It is a new year, guys. It is a very good new year. It's the 2024. Right, this year's there's nothing but W's, guys. It's nothing but W's. But before anything else, before we get into the breakdown, guys, please make sure to check out the Instagram. There's a few stuff that I have revamped, and there's new things that I really want to add, guys. Like, especially for us, the FLAIR family, I really want us to grow. I really want us to communicate more in terms of everything. But overall, just please check out the Instagram. It's on 862 followers. We're gonna grow this year, guys. So make sure to go over there. That's where I respond to all my DMs, all my questions, any video suggestions that you have. If you're struggling with any pair, I'll make sure to break it down. And I have something I want to share with you guys right quick. All right, FLAIR family. So I've started a Discord for each and every one of us so we can join. This Discord is mainly for us to really communicate in terms of everyone, right? So I see all of us watch the YouTube videos, but we really don't have like some sorts of insider, some sorts of person to talk to, right? So now I did make a community where we can all join, where we can all talk to each other, right? Obviously, the community will have a general chat. This is where all of us will be talking about anything that we see, NFP, any important day, you get what I mean? This is where we're all going to be chilling, just the way we're going to be talking. And then this is where we're going to be posting our trade setups, right? So if you are interested in learning how to trade the same way I do, just join the community, because a lot of gents are going to be trading the same way I do. So you're going to get an insight of how to see that, right? And I've added a little bit of nice things for everybody, right? Introduction to Forex, blueprint to trading psychology, how to master trading stress, 39 habits of like traders, you get what I mean? So all the education stuff is all in the Discord, guys. So make sure to come use the resources that I put here. Right, please make sure when you do join the community, read the rules, guys. Please just make sure to respect each other, right? No harassment. Keep discussions related to trading and financial markets. Let's not promote anything else. And then let's just share quality posts, guys. Like, share setups, share constructive ideas, and then let's help each other grow. Like, I will not tolerate any violations into this community. So let's just make sure we grow, and let's build build a supportive and profitable community together, guys. So the link of the Discord will be in the link like below in the description. So make sure to join and make sure to talk. You get what I mean? And I will be giving a giveaway. The most active trader of the month will receive 250, guys. This is literally coming out from my pocket. So any consistent the guy that responds to all the questions and is most active by the end of the month will receive 250. I promise you, the bank details will be put and the money will be deposited, guys. So make sure to go check the FLAIR Trading Hub. Make sure to respect the guidelines, guys. This community is for all of us, right? It's for people who are new into the strategy, new into the trading family. So let's just be nice to each other and let's make this a profitable year, guys. But nonetheless, let's just get into business. All right, so as the title says, we will be focusing on gold and the dollar index today. So in this breakdown, I really just want to go over these two pairs, mainly because it is the beginning of the year and they kind of shape out the rest of the year, right? I did do a breakdown of last year, what I see in 2024, but price is moving a little bit slower than we did anticipate, but it's still relatively the same direction. I just want to break it down so we can all understand, right? And then the currency pairs will be starting, like I'll start to break down the currency pairs the following week, because the currency markets are a little bit slow, but we will get into a bit of groove. There will be a bit of volatility after NFP. I think we saw a sudden surge of volatility, so we will see currency breakdowns next week, right? But let's get into it, right? So with gold, it's literally the same thing. We'll just mark out the high and mark out the low, right? So we know what range we're trading in. We don't do it on the weekly time frame. We're focusing more on, like, we really want to focus more on the intricacies of the lower time frame, so we can really cook up and really kill, right? So now on the daily time frame, as you can clearly see, we're still within this range. So we'll just try to analyze to see if we can get any opportunities maybe on the lower time frames, right? So we'll tap into the 4-hour time frame. So now on the 4-hour time frame, let me just fix everything up. The 4-hour time frame, price has been moving really nice. We saw a sudden push over here, right? This is where we know that smart money is involved. We were relatively looking into executing relatively down over here, right? But for now, we need to also identify market structure, right? As you can clearly see over here, we could mark this out as a change of character. Initially, it would probably happen over here, right? But we'll mark it out just for relativity right over here. right? So this is a change of character. This is on the higher time frame, guys. So we'll mark this out as a low, we'll mark this out as a high, we'll make the high a different color. Let's see if we can. We'll make this blue, right? Perfection. So now price has been moving up in a very corrective manner, right? So we'll come over here, mark out over here. As you can clearly see, like, these types of patterns show themselves many times, guys. We've been trading this pair many times, right? So as you can clearly see, there was a rising wedge and price had eventually broken out of this structure, right? So now my initial thought, especially with gold, since I've been trading with you guys like for the rest of the whole 2023, like, I've noticed with this pair, like, it really also follows the market cycle, guys. Like, if you guys do want a video and I see you guys are pushing it, like, the likes and the comments do go hard, but what is this? The price cycle is literally a simple thing. Let me just try and explain it down for people that don't understand, right? So price usually moves like this. It's a consolidation, right? Expansion, right? Retracement, and then a reversal, right? So this is what I basically mean. This is a consolidation, right? Clean cut finish. Then this is called an expansion. An expansion is something like a large candle, something similar to this, right? An expansion that breaks out of a consolidation, right? Let's go back to our illustration. So once price breaks out of this, we anticipate that there's going to be a retracement, right? A retracement in some sort of a way could be like a flag pattern, or price could be breaking out of a pattern and respecting the 90% rule. For all my flag pattern traders, you understand, right? And then now the reversal is going to be based on maybe the equilibrium. What I mean by equilibrium is the middle, right? Relatively the middle of the consolidation, or the order block that it prints relatively in the that it left, right? So we will usually see an order block relatively after the expansion, right? That's where we usually execute, right? But if you can understand this price cycle, guys, it makes it easier for you to understand what's okay. Price has moved like this and it's doing this and it's gonna reverse somewhere else, right? So using this illustration, right, that we can clearly see over here, we can go into the charts and take that and use it the same. So clean cut finish. Look at this, right? What do you see here? This is some sort of consolidation, right? We can even go to the 2 hour, because these are 4 hours, guys. This is 4 hour candlesticks, as you can clearly see. We'll go to the 2 hour just so you can relatively see what I mean, right? So this is a consolidation, as you can clearly see over here, right? Obviously, we don't accommodate the wicks as of yet, right? So now this is a consolidation, as you can clearly see, right? Most guys you execute based on the equilibrium, so relatively over this point, right? Or this order block that it has printed relatively over here, right? Here and here. Maybe it looks clean on the 3 hour time frame. Let's check the 3 hour. Okay, maybe 2 hour time frame looks relatively nice, right? So why am I talking about this point specifically, right? As you clearly said on the on this point, let me just show you. The expansion leaves an order block, or we can execute based on the equilibrium, right? When price starts to retrace, we anticipate a reversal into relatively around this point, right? So now what I'm saying is, right, price has expanded. Price has been retracing, right? Well, there has been a lack of momentum, and then now his price is retracing. Why are we saying it's retracing? Mr. Flair, what do you mean by that, right? So now let's go into a deeper detail, right? I really want to focus more, like, especially when I break down these types of pairs, I really want to take my time with it. I feel like some cases it is a bit rush where it's like, oh, okay, cool, this, that, that, right? But for now, I really want to take my time with it so you guys can really understand, right? So now this is a push up, right, in a corrective manner, right? We call this a rising wedge. Okay, price breaks out of it, right? We can clearly mark this out as a change of character. Change of character did happen relatively on the lower time frames, right? We can mark this out as a change of character, right? Relatively in the lower time frames. We could even mark it over here, but just for relativity, right, we'll mark it over here, right? So now we can already see that price is retracing, right? And us understanding the higher time frame being the 4 hour, right? Us understanding the higher time frame, we know that we eventually want price to come back to this point, right? And we know price is gonna come back to this point because there is an imbalance that it needs to fill over here. Let me just mark this out properly. There's an imbalance that it needs to fill, right? Let's just mark it. So what is an imbalance, right? An imbalance is basically a price efficiency, price where like these or positions that banks need to mitigate, right? So when price does come back, these are the points that the banks and the institutions really want to fill out their orders, because there are positions that they did leave open that are in a negative, a negative side, right? So we'll mark this out as an imbalance. This is a really, really good confluence, especially looking at this candle, right? It is big, it is thick, it's big. It's big, right? So understanding that it is big, we know that price will eventually come back into this point and then respect it, right? And reverse off of this, right? So we will be targeting the higher time frame high. So this is relatively where we will be targeting, right? And then our stop loss could be relatively over here, right? Or relatively on this low, right? It is a big stop loss, guys. But I think once price gets into here, we can take a confirmational entry. Anybody that knows doesn't know what a confirmational entry, the link of the video will be put over here, right? So we can just check that out and understand it, right? Now, understanding the higher time frame, what price is planning on doing, right? We can focus on the lower time frame because we know eventually we're anticipating price will come over here, right? How can we leverage that? Because we can sit on our hands and wait for price to come over here and trade that. Nobody says you can't. I'm just saying, if you really want to test your skill and you really want more money in this market, you really need to also understand how to trade the lower time frames using the higher time frame bias, right? So let's go to the 1 hour time frame, right? So I just want to show you something that's relatively the same. Maybe I'll go to the 2 hour because the thingy is a bit choppy. So look at this, right? Clean cut finish. We can mark this out as a consolidation, right? We could relatively, because if we go to the 1 hour time frame, we'll clearly see that all of these are candlesticks, right? So look, this is relatively a consolidation, right? Price has been ranging in this point for relatively about since the 2nd of January, 2nd of January around like 5 till the 3rd of January around, it broke out like around 12. Bless me, right? We come to the 2 hour time frame, right? Looking at the 2 hour time frame, we can already see that, okay, cool, price has come into this consolidation relatively over here. If we were to execute, let's just hide this one. If we were to execute, we were to get in relatively in the equilibrium, right? Or we could use let's see the 3 hour. Maybe we can get an order block. We could relatively use this whole order block, right? But let's say relatively we execute it based on the equilibrium, right? So we push this all to the side, right? And then we push it all the way down here, right? This is how I would execute this, right? We allow price to come into this and then push all the way down to relatively where we were anticipating price to push all the way up, right? So now let me just check if I can bring back all my drawings. Perfection, right? So now look, right? This is the low, so the stop loss could be relatively by the low. The beauty of this, right? The beauty of this is that we can already see there's a purge of liquidity as well, right? And we know this is the type of entries that we're looking for, right? We could relatively be looking into executing based over there, right? But no, guys, like one thing I want you guys to understand is that like the market and the way you approach it the year before isn't going to be the same you approach it the next year, right? Because the conditions change. Hence why the strategy is a tad bit different. It's relatively the same, but I just incorporated things like the market cycle so you can understand how price is going to move. That's how I effectively predict the markets like this every week with you guys, right? It's because you understand the price cycle, and then once you understand the price cycle, you use things like market structure, advanced market structure, to understand how you can execute this and use it to your advantage, right? Using flag patterns as well, support and resistance, different things like that, right, guys? But this is what I see for gold. I'll run it back one more time for the people who don't understand, right? So in the higher time frame, we understand that this is the low and this is the high, right? So we understand that we're trading within this range, right? Number two, we had a consolidation that really happened over here, and then we had some sort of impulsive move, or what? An expansion, right? Which leaves an imbalance. Mr. Flair, what is an imbalance? An imbalance is a price efficiency. A price efficiency is what banks you look for to come and fill out. In most cases, it's when they have left out positions that have been open that they want to close out, right? So the price does come back, or usually in most cases comes back to the point of where the imbalance started off of, right? Or the expansion started off of. So now we can see that price is already starting the retracement. How do we know that price has already started the retracement? Because of what? The change of character that we can already see over here, right? And you can clearly see that there is some sort of expansion relatively after the consolidation. We can execute based on the equilibrium, right? Now, since that happened, price is going to maybe trickle down, and reverse off of this point and push all the way up, right? This take profit is probably too ambitious, right? But I think for you as a trader, know that, like, you know your risk tolerance and your risk threshold and your trading plan, right? You could probably go for 1:3, 1:4, 1:5. You get what I mean? It is a relatively good setup, especially with gold, guys. So now let's move over to DXY so you can see how the other pairs will be respecting, like the GBP, USDs, and the other stuff. So let's just check out the dollar index right quick. All right, so this is the dollar index, right? So with the dollar index, I really want to start on the weekly time frame, mainly because there's not a lot of price action that's really happening, and I really want to show you guys how I break this down, right? So obviously we mark at the high and then the low, so we know what price range you're playing, guys, because the things we're trading, you can be caught up in all this price action and then not even focus on the current market, because it's all last year and 2022 stuff, right? So now understanding the high and the low, you know where you're playing in and how we're gonna work with the whole year, right? So we're coming on the daily time frame, clean cut finish. As you can clearly see, this market is on a downtrend. The dollar has been on a downtrend since what? The 3rd of October, basically last year, right? As we can clearly see, how do we know we're in a downtrend? Because there's a certain change of characters that are happening. Yes, change of characters probably happen over here, but just for relativity, we'll just mark it out like that, right? Clean cut finish, and then break of structure over here, right? So for me as a trader, right, when I see these types of candles, like, this is where I really get excited, because I know there's efficiencies. I know price is going to come back in some sort of way, or eventually it's going to come back. We just need to find out how we can execute, right? So now the daily time frame, since we've identified that we're on a downtrend, check this out, right? We are on a downtrend, as you can see. This is just to mark out, just to show people that we are, as we can clearly see, right? Price is going lower and lower, right? Let's go to the 4-hour time frame. We'll remove this, we'll remove that, right? So now, as you can clearly see, price has what? Formed an impulse over here, right? Or an expansion, right? Then we also come over here, relatively mark out the consolidation. As you can clearly see, guys, the thing is, a lot of people are confused how to mark out consolidations. Consolidations is just price moving side to side. Look, price is just bouncing. Can you see what I mean? Like, this is what I mean. There's consolidation, there's an expansion, and there's retracement. Price is retracing back into the place that it had initially expanded from. Can you see how price usually works? And even using gold, like, there's usually a pattern before it reverses into a retracement. Like, check this out. This is a falling wedge. You get what I mean? Price usually shows you clues, like, it gives you clues. Hey, look at me, I'm retracing now. Hey, look at me, I'm reversing now. Look at me, I'm consolidating now. You as a trader need to sit back and really pay attention to the market more than you're paying attention to how much money you want to make this week. If you can really take the time to be like, let me understand what the markets are telling me, the markets will tell you how much to make, like how to make money. You get what I mean? So now, let me remove these trend lines so we can understand that we are relatively retracing back up with the change of character that relatively happened over here, right? It did happen lower time frames, but for relativity, we'll just mark it over here, right? Like that, change of character up over here, right? So anticipating the price will come into over here. What you need to do is just mark out the whole what do you call this, the whole consolidation, and understand where the equilibrium is, right? The equilibrium is basically the middle point of the consolidation, right? So now you come into the 3-hour time frame, just go lower and lower and lower into the time frame, just to understand where you can find out, like, if there's any order blocks, as much as it is, right? Clean cut finish. As you can clearly see, the order block is relatively highlighted right after the impulse, right? So we can come over here, mark out this, and then mark out that, right? So relatively, this is where we would really like to see some sort of execution in terms of, like, the dollar, if you are going to be trading it, right? So we come in over here. This is your sell limit. You could probably put it over above or relatively just by that high, right? And then the take profit will be relatively down over here, right? So now the dollar of my anticipation is that dollar will rise occasionally for then relatively maybe the whole month. I think the whole month we can see price just playing around, trickling around until we eventually get to this point, right? And then reverse off of that and then push all the way to the lower point, right? But now I'm really interested to see how this looks on the lower time frames. Maybe we can even get a cleaner order block. Maybe you can relatively use this. Like this is a demand zone, as you can clearly see, push all the way down over here. And if we zoom in just a little bit, we can see that what is this? There's some sort of liquidity has been taken over here, right? So mark this out as a purge of liquidity. Clean cut finish, guys. Like it's relatively the same thing. And if I reverse just a little bit more back, you can clearly see that the change of character initially happened over here. So I could take this and mark this out just for relativity, just to show you that the strategy that we trade hasn't really changed. We just added something that helps us more to understand how the market moves, right? Let's run it back again. Consolidation, expansion, retracement, reversal, right? So we can maybe relatively looking to enter over here, right? Stop loss relatively right over these highs. This is like 37 pips, but once you understand that, you can trade this, right? This is a 1:8, relatively good setup. So we can see price just playing around, tapping us in and then pushing all the way down, right? But that's relatively what I see for this week, guys. The currency breakdowns will be happening like next week further and on. But guys, please make sure to go check out the Discord, guys. Like I'll go to it one more time. Just check out the Discord. There's a general chat. This is where you're gonna come in. You're gonna talk about anything, any questions. This is where I'll try my best to even answer. There's a general team that I have as well that will be answering. There's a few bots that I've added as well that'll make things easier. If you have some sorts of questions, I will. If you guys want different types of education, if you guys want trader slang, everything is here, guys. Like I have put everything you need as a new trader. I've put everything you need as a person who really wants to elevate your game, especially this year, right? And doing this with the free community, guys. This is the FLAIR Trading Hub. I want all of you guys to come in here and really pour your heart out in terms of trading, all the things that you're going through, and then let's just grow this community, guys. Yes, it's going to take time. It is going to take time, but I know for sure that the FLAIR family is going to grow, and we're gonna get to that point, right? But in terms of the rules, I just want to go through them one more time, guys. I want to be really strict. I want this community to understand that we need to respect each other. We need to keep the discussions related to trading, right? And then don't spam self-promotion. I understand, guys, there's a community free and there's everybody else, but please, if you do that, you will be removed from the group, guys. There will be zero tolerance of any violations of this group. I want this to be a conducive environment for everybody, new trader, so we feel moving forward, guys. Even if someone sends something that you feel like, oh, this person doesn't know anything, help. You get what I mean? Like I said before, there will be a giveaway every month. 250 Rand for the most active trader, the most consistent on the FLAIR family community. So make sure you get your chance as now before everybody joins. You get what I mean? So without further ado, guys, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Get this to 15 likes, not too much. I'm really not picky. Just get it to 15 likes. And yet another year. Happy New Year, FLAIR family. To more and to more.